Make sense? No. Okay. All right. So what do we start off with on the We Got Your Mail portion of the show? Where do we leave
Are we
off?
jumping? I don't know. Where do you want to start from?
We only did Rachel's reviews, right?
Yeah, do we want to redo that one though? I don't know where we're at.
Well, she didn't. She won't be able to hear. This is for the We Got Your. So basically, what Rachel asked was, which Sundance, with Sundance on my mind, what is your favorite indie recent year? I don't think I even mentioned the one I think you mentioned, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so I was saying real fast, just to recap, because we had tech issues. So I love that question. I would say just kind of looking through, I was looking through some lists of like top indies because nothing jumped right to mind. And the ones that really stuck with me, I think, would be a lot of stuff in the horror genre, stuff like Get Out, stuff like, I know it's a little older, but Blair Witch Project. And I think to me that's just a genre that shines so much in the independent world, because I think they do just generally they're a little smarter, they're a little braver with what they start touching on. I feel like so much big budget horror is like, how quiet can we be, and then how loud can we be, or how freaky can we make this effect, and when you don't have that, it forces you, I think, to get a lot smarter. So for me, I think stuff in the horror genre would top a lot of that list.
Yeah.
Good question, Rachel. Thank you.
I the movie that used it was a Get Out for you, right?
I guess I'd go with Get Out. Yeah.
For me, I just recently saw the film. Was it Oh Dear God? I think that's what it was called. It's an indie film about a very religious young lady who accidentally, this is based in the 90s, who accidentally, while she's on America Online, old product that I was very familiar with back in the 90s, accidentally starts sexting with what we know as sexting as with a person, a stranger online, and totally freaks her out, but it kind of awakens like a curiosity thing. So this is a young girl who's very, very religious and a very, very religious upbringing, who accidentally gets sent a nude pic from a guy off of America Online. But it awakens this, well, what does this mean? What does that word mean? Like, because the guy was asking her to do some stuff. So this whole movie is about, I guess, people not wanting to admit, that they have these questions and these curiosities, because in this religious camp that she goes to, they shame things like that. But it was a very, very I was about to say educational, very entertaining movie. The way she went through her journey with accepting that it's kind of like it's okay to have these questions, kind of a thing, it's worth checking out. And I think it's called Oh God or something like that, or Oh Dear God or something like that. It's supposed to be a play on
I
words.
I
Um,
actually want to throw in too. That made me think of another one I really enjoyed, that I think got a little overlooked, and not like a brilliant film, but just one that I very personally enjoyed. Came out maybe 5 or so years ago now,
mhm.
called The To Do List.
Okay.
Comedy with Aubrey Plaza in the lead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, did you see that one?
Oh yeah. I remember the to-do list.
Yeah, uh, set in the 90s, and she's like or about to be a college student, and makes like essentially a sexual to-do list to get a whole bunch of sexual experience before she goes. And I feel like didn't get a huge release, and not a ton of people saw it, but just like very fun and smart. And I remember just genuinely laughing very hard. So
Oh
it
yeah.
was good.
That's see on the
That's what yours made me think of.
on the theme of coming of age types of sexual awakenings for, in the independence market. So yeah, so Rachel reviews. I mentioned last time before we realized that we weren't streaming to anybody. That Rachel reviews is you can find her on YouTube and on what's going on with my, I'm sorry, I forgot the transition. You can find her on YouTube, and she's a certified Rotten Tomatoes critic. Rachel review. So yeah, check her out. Thank you, Rachel, for the question, and yep, those are our answers, I guess, right there. All right, what's the
Up
next one?
next, we have Amanda Wilson on Instagram asking, "What is your guilty pleasure?" Ooh,
Hmm.
a little saucy on this one. I'm gonna go with, I guess I'll keep it media related. The quarantine has, we were talking before we started streaming about this actually. The quarantine has pushed me to a place where my boyfriend and I now anxiously await Monday nights because apparently somehow in the last couple of weeks we've become proud fans of Bachelor Nation. That's right. We're watching The Bachelor every week. It is not good, but it is so entertaining. And we get very caught up in the drama. That's where we're at. I'm really glad Victoria got sent home this week. I'm sure this means nothing to anyone, but I'm really glad Victoria and oh my God, what's her name? Anna are out of there. Now he just needs to send MJ home and we're golden. So if anyone wants to hear my Bachelor hot takes, I think I'm going to start my own segment that's just me talking about the women I do not like on The Bachelor.
That was the one great thing I loved about the fact that we had no sound earlier, because we talked a lot. You talked a lot about The Bachelor, and you found a way to just
have a lot of thoughts.
You found a way to throw it right back in the show.
Anna was terrible.
But Amanda,
too much teeth. Look her up. She's very.
I'll get right on that. But Amanda Wilson, that question, what is your guilty pleasure? I had to think about this. I'm like, should I mention that I can't go number 2 with the lights on? Maybe I don't think that counts.
Guilty pleasure. That's just.
I enjoy it. Complete darkness. It's just me. It's a whole thing. I'll get into it some other time. Yeah, if somebody put that in the next We Got Your Mail. Chris, what was that crap you were talking about number 2 and the lights being off? You guys asked me that question. Make that an official question. Send it to us.
What is your guilty pleasure, Chris?
I will answer it. Okay, so my guilty pleasure. Amanda Wilson wants to know what my guilt. I don't know. I have to think about it. Maybe it's video games. Maybe that's probably it. I'm boring. I have nothing that I'm willing to confess here. So I'll just say video games. I like to play Call of Duty.
Video game that you like, is not great, but you love to play. Because I feel like video games have become pretty genuinely
something that is considered like not that popular that I like to do. I can only answer that question with my fiance I can't tell you guys that. Sorry, there's just some things that I can't. But is there a video game I'm saying that's like a legitimately guilty pleasure? Because so I don't know. PUBG, I guess. I don't know. Everybody's all on Fortnite, but I like PUBG. It's the same premise, but I feel like Fortnite is way overrated. I'm a PUBG guy. That's the game I'm gonna play. I'm very boring. Like I said, there's not too many guilty pleasures that I'm gonna be willing to confess to right here on the live stream.
What was that then? But toodlescae.
I'm sorry, but that was before I go to the next question. But I want to mention Amanda Wilson is a name that pay attention to, because I asked her to submit this question in because you will see her sometime this week on this channel. I'll let you guys know later. So be on the lookout for an Amanda Wilson.
toodlescae on YouTube asked, have you seen Monster Squad? It's cheesy but funny with some kid adventure. I have not.
I have. I want to say yes, but
then say it, Chris.
It was probably, I think if it's the movie that I'm thinking about, it was so long ago and I couldn't tell you if it's the movie. Help me out, guys, in the live chat. Is that the movie where a neighborhood of kids they bumped into like Dracula, Frankenstein? And was that old movie, or am I thinking about something totally different? But I think it was an 80s or 90s film where these kids met all of those classic monsters. Is that Monster Squad?
We'll say yes, because I'm not going to argue.
I don't know. If it's the movie that I'm thinking about, whether I've seen, if I saw it, I probably saw it so long ago I can't remember it. Maybe it's a movie, and I believe that question came in because it was on the topics of like first time watching. So I'll put that on the list. if it's the movie I'm thinking about,
I definitely have not, so I could throw it on my
yeah,
to-do
I'll watch. I'll give it a first time
but not
watching.
like the movie to-do list because it'll be
Right.
less sexy.
And Joe Ryan says, I have no shame. My wife dresses up like Wonder Woman and ties me. I'm not going to read the rest of that, but nice.
Bethany J Regan, hi Bethany, on TikTok says, when you hear the words "do you," half of people finish the lyric with "believe in life after love." The other half say, "know the Muffin Man." Which are you?
When you hear the words "do you," what what do you hear?
I feel like I'm gonna say I'm the third type.
Which
that
one?
Goes, do you want my love? I go a little ELO with it.
Which song? Which song was that?
Julia by ELO.
Oh, you know what?
White Orchestra. I'm kicking it old school.
You know what lyric I hear? When I hear "do you," I finish that off with "really want to hurt me," Boy George.
There you go.
That's my go-to. Do you?
There you go.
What about you guys? What do you? And Joe Ryan says, yeah, Monster Squad. That's the movie I was thinking about. Okay, so yeah, I saw that movie maybe once back in the day when I was a kid. I couldn't tell you. I'm maybe remembering one scene with the Wolfman. I think he did. I'm not gonna spoil. Well, a situation where they finally shot him, and he was like, "Thank you."
Spoilers. Some of us haven't seen it.
Movie. This is an 80s or early 90s movie. If you haven't seen it by now, you're not gonna.
I didn't know I should until Toodlescae.
If I'm remembering the scene correctly, they finally shot the Wolfman, and I think he thanked a kid for shooting him. If I'm remembering the right movie.
Thank you for killing me.
He was cursed with the Wolfman curse.
That's freaking dark.
I mean, and it was a little kid that had to take him down. It's pretty badass. I loved back when I was a kid. I loved movies where the kids were the heroes or going on the adventures.
Literally every kid does, but I'm a little concerned.
So yeah, Wolfman. But yeah, do you really want to hurt me, Boy George? That's my go-to. Do you? I
like it. 4 types of people. We've proven a new theory.
You're right.
DevilwytDevil 889 on YouTube said, I think we were talking if there will be another $1 billion movie. I think the real question is, what movie will Disney be obliged to pay or back up another claim of we make $1 billion movies? TLJ, Captain Marvel, etc.
TLJ, The Last Jedi.
Thank you.
I had to look that up myself. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what the hell is TLJ? I was like, oh, The Last Jedi.
Thank you so much. I was like, that the band that did Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls.
You thought there was a movie called TLJ? We make $1 billion movies. I think the real question is, what movies will Disney be obligated to pay back up another claim of meaning I don't know. And I think this was piggybacking on that thought about, when will there be another $1 billion movie? Will it happen this year, next year, the year after?
I feel like the odds are decent. I don't know if I quite catch what you're saying on this, but I do feel like the odds are really decent. It could be $1 billion movie, like that next like must-see movie to make $1 billion. I feel like they just own so many of the franchises where it feels possible.
There might be another mad gold rush like dash to movie theaters again. I just feel like so many movie theaters have gone under since the pandemic that it'll be a while before we hit that $1 billion.
But I do agree that like studios, and especially like big budget studios, like Disney just acquired all these properties. So I'm sure they're racking their brains on like, how do we knock it out of the park and get your vaccine. Damn it. I want to go to the theater.
Get your vaccine.
JFS The Reviewer on Twitter asked, what film or TV show do you feel revolutionized films and television? Like, which do you think became such a great influence to future films and TV shows? That's a really good question. We're getting
JFS The Reviewer. He's been on the channel a couple times.
Yeah.
He always has some good questions.
The first one.
You better not say The Bachelor.
I think I would go with other reality shows before that even. But
The Real World?
Talking about reality TV specifically, which I'm not. my first instinct, and it's not even like a personal, like I'm such a, like I've seen a bit of it, but I'm not even like a huge fan. But I feel like, and maybe it's just one of the ones that gets referenced, but I know it's influenced so many shows I do love. My first instinct was The Sopranos.
Oh, good.
Just sort of the bit of the anti-hero thing, you know, like I feel like that was revolutionary, both in what people could expect just from kind of the quality and the depth of a TV show, and B, what people could expect from a protagonist and sort of the places a TV show could go to. Because we definitely wouldn't have things like Breaking Bad and stuff.
That's a good one.
At Sopranos.
I caught up with The Sopranos. I was always a season behind because I was working overseas in Iraq at the time. I had all the DVDs, the whole box set collections. And I had a coworker. It was a man. He was in like his 60s or late 60s or early 70s, an old timer. His nickname was Hollywood for some weird reason. And I got him hooked on that.
I feel like when you hit a certain age, there's like a list of nicknames.
There's nicknames that are just gonna stick.
Hollywood is one of them.
He's like, you can just call me Hollywood. That's how he talked.
Hollywood Gramps, like.
You call me Hollywood. And he was like,
one of those.
But and me and him would watch The Sopranos all the time. He loved that theme song. That was one of the best show openers songs of all time. But the TV show for me that changed, I guess, everything for me. Ironically, it probably was. Ironically enough, it was Seinfeld, a show that I had
another one I was thinking just for comedy and kind of what a comedy could be.
Yeah, It was like that. It's that underdog show that should not have made it and became one of the best greatest sitcoms of all time. And I wasn't even a fan of it when it first came out. I thought there was some stupid stuff. I just didn't get it. And then it was that situation where you catch that one episode just because you don't feel like turning it off, and then you're like, why the hell did I never give the show a chance? And then you go back and it's a show that I truly love. And
no, it's been cool. My boyfriend never really watched it, so during the pandemic we've gone back and watched a bit, and it is definitely one of those of like, not every episode's like 10 out of 10, but
every episode is 10 out of 10.
When it hits, it knocks it so far out of the park. And most episodes are good. There's a few episodes that really didn't age well, I guess, is more what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of the things
they're like, she's 16 and we're looking at her breasts, like, not great. But yes, for comedy and for kind of living up to the hype of how funny and iconic and revolutionary it was, I would say Seinfeld for TV comedy would be
when they did safe bet. When they did that one episode that went backwards, I was blown away how they pulled that off. I was like, how am I going to keep up with this thing? And it was interesting. That was an awesome episode. And I stayed a loyal fan of Seinfeld. I saw him live on stage. I mean, I love Seinfeld. He's the GOAT. Then I was the traditional. I was the traditional white dude. I watched Friends afterwards. I made sure that none of my friends growing up knew what I was doing at home. You know, that was my vice. If you want to, we go back to the whole what's your guilty pleasure thing. That was it. Seinfeld and Friends. I cannot lose a trivia game.
I do own all of Friends on DVD.
Yeah.
I hear the complaints about it. I understand it's not the greatest show of all time, but like I fell in love with that show when I was like 12, and it is still my like.
I actually liked the Joey spinoff because I
watched the Joey spinoff when it came out.
I liked his sister from Sopranos. What's her name?
Yeah. I
still remember one of those episodes where he was like, why? Like she yelled at him about something, but it wasn't anything bad. And he was like, why is yelling always like your default? Do you yell everything? And she's like, I don't know. She really had to think about it. Like, I do yell all the damn time. Even when it's happy news. Like it's coming off in anger. But nobody wanted to give that show a chance. But I like Joey. Joey was
wasn't great, but it was fine. It was a sitcom.
What's the
Jakk Frost on YouTube. We were discussing bringing Deadpool into the MCU, and he said, what better story to introduce Deadpool to the MCU than Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe?
A lot of people brought that up and I think we're going to talk about it again on We Got Your Vote, because there was there was some options that I threw in the mix on that. I don't think so because Kevin Feige.
I don't think Marvel would let them do it, and I feel like it'd be so hard to pull off and not like in my brain. It just feels like such a.
It would be funny as hell.
I don't know how, and maybe my brain just keeps seeing it as almost like a parody of like, whoa, Deadpool's so edgy. Like it feels like a Flash animation someone would have made in like 2004.
My suggestion was
like Deadpool killing Thor. It's awesome.
I mean, get a lucky.
Maybe I'm being cynical.
Get a lucky swing in. My suggestion was, why doesn't he kill off all of the Marvel movie characters from before the MCU was made? The old Fantastic Four movie guys, the Blade, the old movies. Kill all the Marvel Fox property characters, the old X-Men team. Kill all of them. And that way now, and then moving.
That makes more sense too. That feels, at least there's like a punchline there. I think just killing the whole MCU just feels so edgy for edgy's sake. It's like, we get it. That's your thing.
Yeah, to me, it'll feel like him. It's like we're closing the door on the old Fox Marvel stuff and like just look towards the Mickey Mouse Funhouse with Deadpool.
Yeah. Michael Chu on Twitter asked, "What was the best year of film in your eyes from the past 10 years?" Ooh, best year of film.
The best year in film? Probably 2019, right before the pandemic.
My instinct.
Huh?
That was my instinct as well, and I feel like that's such an easy out just because it's
that was when it all came, when the MCU it all came down to that moment when Endgame beat Avatar. That it came. Disney broke so many records that year with all those billion-dollar movies.
Depends on how we're counting it, but the 2019 Oscars. Well, no, it was the 2020 Oscars. So yeah, 2019. Also, I'm like thinking through like Oscar years and years I was especially excited about stuff, and I do think like
what was the year where Moonlight? What was the year?
I would say Parasite and Jojo Rabbit were like probably two of my favorite films of this past decade.
Was that 2019 or was that 2018?
I believe they were 2019 because they both won stuff at the 2020 Oscars.
Right.
So they would have been 2019. Well, yeah, it was a good year, and I feel like I said, that's an easy answer because I feel like if I started digging back, I'd go, oh yeah, that was a good year. But when we didn't have to, when everybody weren't wearing masks, we just started going down memory lane. Well, it's just like, yeah, I'm sure there were like some great movies in like 2013 I'm not thinking of, but between some of the Marvel stuff, some of the bigger budget stuff, and then like I said, just thinking real quick through like Oscar years, I'm like, what year was I most excited recently? And those were two of my favorite like Oscar contenders recently. So I'll throw it to 2019.
Oh yeah. And the next two?
We got from the Back to the Topic podcast on Instagram. What do you think the future of movie theaters looks like after COVID? Do you think the same day release will have a negative effect on their business? I think they're going to start cutting the same day release. I mean, I feel like if something's going to theaters and all theaters are open, they're going to start going, oh, no. You don't get that on Disney Plus until it's like home.
Yeah, video. That same day, go to the movies and it comes out on Disney Plus or whatever, the same day or a week later, they're going to have to start getting rid of that again. They're going to
get rid of it, or if they keep it, they're going to go back to like kind of that Mulan, like, yeah, you can have it, but you're going to have to pay for it.
Exactly. Yeah, they're going to have to go back because that's the only way to save the movie industry. Because if there's no buffer, then that's going to kill the industry again. So, it's time to hit that reset button, get back to that whole 6 to 8 months buffer. You want this on HBO Max, you're going to have to wait. Get back to that again. That's the only way it'll force people back in the theater. When it's safe, I'm not saying do it now. I mean, when it's safe, when the vaccines kick in, when the herd immunity or what previous administration called the herd mentality kicks in, and when it's safe to go to the theater again. Then that's but as of for right now, yeah, you're right. Yeah, HBO Max or Disney Plus and whatnot, and in the theaters, because there are some movies that I will go to the theaters for, even if I can watch it at home. Wonder Woman 84, for example. Do I regret going to the movies to see it? No. Do I regret seeing it? Yes.
And we asked on the YouTube community, let's cast a remake of The Shining. Who do you have playing Jack and Wendy? Go. This is literally just a conversation my boyfriend and I got into the other day, and I was like, what? I can't think of anything. What would other people want?
But the community got
Honestly,
involved.
It started because I love The Shining, but I do not like the casting in that movie. I think they're both completely miscast.
But they got involved a bit, and they come up with some good suggestions. I got it keyed up. You want me to read them out? There's even more than it was.
Yeah, I will say okay. Give me. I'll. Can I do one of these?
Yeah,
Yay or nay?
Yeah, go for it. You want to? Let's see.
Yeah, start reading.
Oh, let me read them out. Okay, we got. All right, so we have Matthew McConaughey as Jack, and the girl that played Wednesday Addams.
Christina Ricci.
Christina Ricci as. So Matthew McConaughey and Christina Ricci is from Perp Night. That was his suggestion. Let me heart that.
Don't hate it.
You don't hate it? You like
don't
that?
Love it, don't hate it. I could be sold.
Anything with Christina Ricci, if you want to talk about guilty pleasures. Okay.
She could be a cool Wendy. She could be an interesting Wendy.
She could be an interesting.
But I like the idea of McConaughey a little bit because.
All right.
And I know this is not like a big. But like you want an everyman, or like a guy you could see losing it, but not immediately. Like Jack Nicholson, just from go, it's like, yeah, that guy's gonna murder his family, absolutely. And if you set up Jack and Wendy where you're kind of going, I really think they can make this work, and I'm rooting for them, it makes the emotional stakes so much more interesting. Anyways, what else we got?
We have from Majestic Rides. What he says. No one. Hollywood screws up every original they remake. Leave it alone.
Fair enough. No, I also, I don't know if we need a Shining remake. It was more just a hypothetical.
Yeah. If after the pitch meeting and they greenlit it, you gotta cast it. So let's see. Jack O'Lantern says Vince Vaughn playing Jack and Toni Collette as Wendy.
That's not bad.
I mean, I can see Toni Collette.
She'd be great.
As when she would be perfect really casting.
Vince Vaughn's interesting.
Vince Vaughn is. I mean,
he would have to really show up and impress me.
Because he can be hit or miss. I mean, you're going toe to toe with Toni Collette. You got to bring that A game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think she would act circles around.
Now, Toni Collette and Matthew McConaughey. But that you don't see them together. She's too good. She's too good for the reconnaissance. You don't see them together?
Not exactly.
All right. We got Scott Shaw says Anthony Jeselnik.
Anthony Jeselnik. Oh.
Jeselnik. I know he's a comic, but the potential's there. Anthony, remind me, what's he been in? Anthony.
I don't think he's done a ton of acting. He's like kind of a shock comic, from what I know, like kind of a raunchy. I don't know him well enough to super have a comment on it beyond like, I wouldn't.
I just looked. Oh, isn't this one of the comedians that they've been asking you to do a reaction to?
Probably.
And
I'm not a huge fan, but
and Victoria Pedretti as Wendy. Victoria, from the You series, the girlfriend from You.
I'm Googling.
Oh, yeah. From The Haunting of Hill House and You.
Okay. I don't know her, but...
You haven't watched You?
She's definitely too young.
You haven't watched You on...
I have not. I missed that one.
Or The Haunting of Hill House?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you are missing out. You have got to watch You. You and Eric have got to watch You.
Do we have any other
if you would have seen You, then you would understand why he picked her for that character. I could see it only based on what I've seen her do in those things. Alexander Baines, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Joaquin Phoenix and Elizabeth Moss.
That's not bad.
You giving that the thumbs up?
That's
Elizabeth Moss is becoming like a scream queen. Like she's doing her thing.
Good.
For horror and suspense, Elizabeth Moss is doing her thing.
I don't hate it.
Let's see. Aquanaut for life just says Jim Carrey for Jack. I think people would compare it too much to what he did with 23.
Yeah. He doesn't bring enough of that like every man.
I just feel like every time he threatened to kill me with that axe, I just start laughing.
Performance.
Yeah. I feel like I would just start laughing every time he threatened to kill me with that axe. I'm like, Jack, come on, man, stop playing.
My pull, the only person not the only person, but one of my pulls where I was like, I'd be curious, was someone like Bradley Cooper. Because he's supposed to be this kind of like handsome, charming, like there's a reason Wendy's stuck around this long. And I think getting someone who, and he is a really good actor. Like I think he has the depth to pull it off. So that was my.
Yeah. I love him in the MCU. Yeah.
Yeah, he's solid.
He's a damn raccoon, but it's still good.
He gives a good performance though.
Someone else, let's see. Justin Chun says Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Oh no.
Oh my God, you had to do it. Justin, you're definitely getting a thumbs up on that one. That was funny.
No, don't encourage him.
And let's see. Saint Clark says Sebastian Stan and Anna Taylor-Joy.
She's way too young. But she is a good actor.
Sebastian Stan. Sebastian Stan can pull it off.
Yeah.
You think Anna Taylor-Joy is too?
She's like
24. She's just as young as the other actress from You. Yeah. I mean, it just depends on what they're going for. A young couple with a 24-year-old woman with a 10-year-old. You know.
Danny's like 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah, she needed.
Right out of high school, they got married. Yeah, right out of high school, they got married, and let's go to that house, and flip out because he's all pissed off about
a hotel.
I could write that story. He was like, he goes to sitting there drinking with that ghost. Like, I never got to go to college, and starts blaming his family. Starts resentful, but that's probably what they were going for. That's the cast. I like the older picks, like the Matthew McConaughey, the Joaquin Phoenix, even Jim Carrey.
I mean, in your 30s for it to really
for it to really feel like a midlife crisis gone axe murder. It would have to be a character. Well, I guess it's still up there in the community tab. Thank you for all you guys for participating and all that. From me and Amy, we thank you. I guess everybody. I guess Amy's not going to thank the
No,
Johnny
thank
Depp
you.
one.
I was waiting for you to be done talking. I'm sorry.
Amy's not. No, I was about to say Amy's not going to thank the Johnny Depp suggestion, but
I will not. But thank you guys. Thank you for helping. Because we were just doing that like. I can't think of people, so thank you.
Were there any suggestions that they gave you that you can arm yourself with against Eric? Like, no, Matthew McConaughey. There were some interesting ones in there for sure. She's not going to take any of your suggestions. It's just like with me in this show. What do you think about it? Let's talk about this topic on the show. She vetoes everything. She's texting me right now to shut up. Yeah. Okay, shut up. Okay, I will. Thank you. I'm sorry. I got to do some damage control in the marketing department. So, all right. Thanks
for bearing with us, guys. We appreciate it. Sorry for the tech issues.
Thank you.
We will obviously get that all double checked and resorted for next week. So thank you guys for being here and bearing with us.
I blew it. Like I said, let me look, guys. I humble myself before you, and I beg your forgiveness. There's no excuse for this. 168 episodes in, and I go and talk for an hour, and you can't hear me. There's no excuse for that. You blame me for this. If you want to tell all your friends to punish me by having 10 of their friends subscribe to our channel, I will let you go ahead and do that. get 20 or 50 of your friends to subscribe to. That's the only way I'm going to learn my lesson.
Yeah, make sure you send that hate mail by subscribing and then sending us some. You can send us hate mail through our Patreon.
Yeah, the only way I'm going to learn my lesson, if you click on that symbol that looks like this, it punches me in the face. So the more of those I will get the message. The only way I'm going to learn, man. But that's the show, guys. I appreciate it. I guess we'll call the show. Talking to the Medias was streamed in front of a live studio audience that was yelling at the damn screen because they couldn't hear me. Sorry about that, guys. And till next time, you can find me if you want to yell at me some more. You can on Instagram, on Twitter at ChrisFagan1980. Amy, if they want to suggest some more things to review, where can they find you? Right there.
I'm here. I do some things. Amy.n.Newman, Amy_n_Newman.
With style and grace. There you go. And if you like Amy Newman, you're going to love this, guys.
If you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe to the channel and please drop a like on this video. It really does help us. Also, don't forget you can turn on notifications so you don't miss a single review, react, why is that trending, or we got your mail.